Hello everyone, welcome to Artistically Married, where art and opportunity collide. We're your hosts, Jake Ackerman.
And Brianne Steinberg.
And today we have Southern Ontario's radio legend, Pat Porter, with us.
Yeah.
Hi, thank you for inviting me. I appreciate it.
My podcasting father.
Yeah.
Well, we were co-hosts there for a while.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun.
Yeah,
so
it was
great.
amazing. I think, it was definitely how I got started into podcasting.
Now I get to be on your podcast.
I know. I love it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, usually I do so much prep and like so much, background and questions and map out all my stuff. And I was like, I don't think I need to do that with him.
Probably not. No.
Yeah. Usually I feel the need to like carry the conversation.
Well, let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
No,
Now it's your job.
my job.
No,
Okay.
I'm kidding.
I'm the guy that just sits back and relaxes now while you and Jake do all the work.
All right. I like it. Heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know I've heard this story before, but I would love for you to share with our listeners how you got into radio broadcasting, kind of what your background looked like, and how you ended up being, is it 18 years on Giant FM?
12 years on Giant FM.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. So yeah, how did you start your career and how did it last so long?
Well, I was driving a truck and I thought, I don't want to do this when I'm 50 or, I want something that I can enjoy and that is a little easier on the body.
Yeah. So
I looked for schools to teach me radio and television. And at the time I was going to, university in Ohio, Bowling Green University, they didn't have any kind of a course like that.
Huh.
So I had a tennis coach that was from London, Ontario. And he said, hey, there's a school that just opened up in London called Fanshawe College. And they are teaching radio, television, all this, promotion, journalism. I said, that's what I want. He says, well, apply for it. So I went to London and I applied for it. And I got in as an international student. So they bumped me into the course, even though I probably wouldn't have gotten in because of all the people that were, applying for it. But they had a little category for international students.
You're a minority.
Yeah. So I got in, and I did the 2-year course, and mostly I partied at Fanshawe.
Yeah, that's what you do at Fanshawe.
Yeah, I know. But at the end of the 2 years, I managed to land a job at the worst rated station in London, CKSL 1410. It was AM.
Okay.
And my job was to go in the newsroom at 4 o'clock in the morning and find the news that happened overnight and was left over from the day before, sort it all out, put it in piles, and put newscasts together for the real newscasters that would come in to begin at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
So, and occasionally they would let me read the news at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning for 3 minutes or whatever. So I was on the air. So being on the air, I was able to, use that to leverage and get another job. So what I did was I said, I'm going to send 40 tapes out. And back in those days, you had these little reel-to-reel tapes, about this big,
Like
plastic.
a cassette?
No, they were reel-to-reel.
Huh. I
And
don't even know what that is.
What's that?
I don't know what that is.
Oh, wow. Okay. It's like an old-fashioned recorder where the reels go around like that, and there's tape
Okay.
on them,
Yeah.
It's not like a
Crazy.
cassette. It's cassette tape, but it's on the reels.
Okay, I understand.
So
yeah.
you do a 5-minute tape. It's on a little tape like that. You could buy them at any kind of a store back then. And I said, I'm going to mail out 40 of these across the country to small stations. And whoever called me first, I was going to go.
Wow.
I said, it doesn't matter. First call I get, I'm off. So a couple of weeks later, I get a call from Smithers, British Columbia, which is, I had to look on the map and say, where's this place?
Yeah.
It's not Vancouver.
Right.
It's like way up. Prince George and Prince Rupert
Wow.
are on either side of Smithers, but Smithers is 250 miles, back then miles, from each city.
Oh.
So it was a 500-mile drive from the coast to Prince George, and Smithers was right in the center. Now, there was nothing from Prince George to Smithers except a couple of gas stations, a roadhouse or something that you could stop, on your way. That was it. So I left with a friend who got a job in Calgary in television, also from Fanshawe College, and we drove out from London.
Yep.
We drove out from London. It took us 6-7 days to get out there, camping in a tent on the way out there. And we finally got to Calgary. He jumped out, and he hitchhiked into town, and I kept going on the highway forever.
You had another couple days.
Yeah, I know. Because where he got out in Calgary, Alberta, I mean, I think it was about maybe 2/3 of the way that I had to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was alone for the rest of the drive, which was a few days.
Rethinking
driving.
your life decisions?
I thought, this is an adventure. Let's just see what happens.
All right.
You know?
Yeah. You're young.
Yeah.
You're ready.
That's right. Let's just have a little fun and see what happens. I can always go back.
Yep.
So I finally arrived in Smithers. It was June, summertime. So I got there, and I found a little radio station. It was in a little tiny house, in the center of town. The whole metropolitan area was 2,500. That was what the radio station served.
Wow.
And I'd say half were indigenous.
Okay.
And they didn't speak much English back in those days because that area was recently settled back in the 20s. So there were still people around that only spoke their indigenous language. Yeah. So it was a strange place coming from London.
Yeah, which is like booming.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I walked in, and I met the staff and the guy that hired me. And they said, well, can you come in tomorrow morning? We'll put you on the air. I got afternoon drive. Now, there's no drive because there's no traffic.
Afternoon snowmobile?
Yeah, practically.
Four-wheeler? Yeah. Oh, my God.
So I got hired there. So I didn't have a place to live. So I had to find a campsite.
Oh, my God.
Because there was nothing available to rent at the time, eh?
Yeah.
They said, we'll look for a place for you. So, in the meantime, if you got enough for a couple of weeks in a motel for a few days and then a campsite or whatever, I said, I can camp, no problem. So I set up my tent at what I found was the only campsite in Smithers, and looked kind of barren. There was not much there, about 10 tents or something. And so I asked the manager of the campsite, I said, well, where do I go? I have to go to work tomorrow morning if I want to have a shower. He said, oh, we have a shower here, no problem. It's back there. He said, just go back there. I said, okay. So in the morning, I could go have a shower. So in the morning, I went back there. I didn't see any on-off switch or any faucets or anything. So I went back to the office, and I said, well, how do you have a shower here? I know there's a shower because I could see it, but there's no water. He says, oh, there's a hose. You fill up this bucket. You put the bucket on this hook, and you dump it on your head, and that's your shower. But you have to soap up first, and then you have to dump the water and rinse off.
Oh, my God.
So I did about a week of that. And I said, no, I need a real shower. Yeah. Because it was cold. The water was ice cold.
Oh, my God.
Even in June, you're starting to get hot weather down in this area.
Yeah.
It was still, the days would get up to 10 or 15 degrees tops. And night times were down around 2 degrees, 3 degrees. And so it was cold.
Yeah.
So the water was ice cold. And I took the shower. I got dressed. And get me into work, get me into a building.
Yeah.
So that
you
was
were like before your time. You're doing cold plunging.
Yeah. I know. And sleeping in just a basic tent, Yeah. So I said, okay, I had enough money to get a motel room for 3 nights. I said, I'm going in the motel room. Yeah. And if I spend all my money, I'll ask him if I can sleep in the back of the station.
Do you remember how much you were making?
Yeah, I was making $525 a month.
Wow.
Yeah, that was it.
Could that afford a motel?
Well, I had money from London
Right.
I had 3 part-time jobs while I was going to school.
Good for you.
So I had a little money, but not much.
Right.
So then they told me at the radio station that they would find a place, and they actually did. So they said, we got a place for you. It's small, but it's good to start, and we'll look for a better place for you down the road. Yeah. It was a shed in an alley on a dirt road. It wasn't bad. It wasn't dirty. Right. But it was a shed.
What an experience.
Yeah. So that's where I lived.
Still no shower?
What's that?
Did it have a shower?
It had a shower.
All right.
Okay.
That's great.
It had a radiator for heat.
Okay.
So it was comfortable. It was okay.
Wow.
It wasn't a 5-star hotel.
Yeah.
No.
But so that's where I lived. And then I worked there for about a year and a year and a month.
Okay.
But that was in June when I started. By September, it was snowing, right after Labor Day. And we were at the base of a mountain in Smithers, and it would block the sun. The mountain was that tall. And the snow was starting to come down the mountain in September. So I could say, I could see it was coming on the ground. It was going to be here soon.
Yeah.
And sure enough, by the end of September, the ground was covered in snow.
So you survived winter there?
Well, I mean, we have winter. It's -5. You get a few days where it gets things melt. But their winter is -20, an average day, -25.
Yeah.
And if you had a mustache or something, it would freeze.
Yeah.
Your eyes would freeze.
Freeze closed, freeze open.
Closed, yeah. So this was from, I'd say November, December, January, February, and March, maybe April, freezing cold.
Yeah.
So by the time winter was almost over,
winter.
I said, get me out of here.
Yeah.
So I had a friend of mine.
What was the content? Like, what were you?
On air?
Yeah.
Oh, well, basically, all of us didn't have a lot of history behind us. We were fairly new.
Yeah.
One guy had worked in Edmonton on the all-night show for a year or so, and he had the morning show. But we weren't very good.
I was just trying to picture, like, what even people would want to hear in that place, you know?
They didn't
Like,
care.
what are
That
they
was the only
listening?
station there was.
Yeah.
There
Bigfoot
was
sightings.
CFBV Smithers.
Talking about the Yetis.
Yeah. And there was CBC that you could get from a repeater from Prince Rupert, which would have the news and, nothing local.
Yeah.
So CFBV Smithers was a 1,000 watt station.
Wow.
And it covered Smithers.
Right. Yeah. That's amazing.
And also hooked up with a place called Burns Lake, which was about 95 miles down the road. It was smaller than Smithers. There must have been 500 people there.
Wow.
Yeah.
CFBV Smithers, CFLD, Burns Lake. So when you played a commercial, you had to have... Whoops, excuse me, I hit the machine. Is that okay?
Yeah.
When you played a commercial, you had cartridges that you'd put in.
Okay.
And so you had to load 2 machines.
Wow.
For each commercial, because one commercial would go to Burns Lake and the other one would go to Smithers.
Wow.
So you'd push one button in the center, they'd both split, and they'd each hear their own commercial.
Yeah.
So the equipment was designed to play a 30-second commercial and then join up again so you could play a song. But these guys didn't know how to hit 30 seconds. Some of the commercials were 35, some were 27. So one commercial would end, and you'd have to wait for the green light to flash to tell you that they're both done.
Right.
But one station would have dead air because it was waiting for the other one to reconnect again.
Oh, my God.
So, in school, you want to be tight. You don't want any dead air.
Right.
So I had the headphones on to Smithers, and so I was just playing to Smithers.
Right.
And people in Burns Lake were calling and saying, you're cutting off, the song, or, it wasn't right. They wanted to be...
That's wild that was even happening at that time.
So you have to wait. You can't be that tight.
Yeah.
You have to wait till you see the green light. Then you can talk.
Even just how manual that process is compared to now.
Oh yeah, it was all manual.
Yeah.
And you played records, 45
clunky.
Records.
Yeah.
The odd album cut.
Fun.
And
you just went there and they had a record collection?
They had in the hallway. They had a bunch of records on a little rack.
Fun.
They'd get the hits that would come in from record companies, and they had some old albums that people donated.
Right.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
But so we have to go in there with a cardboard box and pick about 60 songs.
Amazing.
And that was our show.
That's so fun.
Yeah, so the radio host was still a disc jockey, right?
Yeah.
So we had to pick our own music, but we could play whatever we wanted from the choice that we had there.
That's so fun.
Yeah. So I remember playing Terry Jack's Seasons in the Sun.
Oh, yeah.
It was the big hit at the time.
Oh,
and we played
gosh.
this song over and over because we needed CanCon. You had to play 70% or 30% CanCon back then.
What's CanCon?
Canadian content.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because in 1970, the government changed the rules so that Canadian stations had to play 30% Canadian music
Interesting.
to promote the Canadian music
I was going to
business.
say, yeah, that'd be around where we were trying to get into
Kinda
it,
makes
right?
sense.
I mean, other than that, like the States were dominating since the
Oh,
20s.
yeah, all we had was Anne Murray and Gordon Lightfoot.
Yeah.
And occasionally Burton Cummings.
yeah.
So you can't play them all day.
Right.
Yeah.
So in a show...
It'll lull everyone to sleep.
Oh, God, you know, I get so sick of hearing Anne Murray.
Yeah.
And she's good, but...
She's all right.
Oh, enough already.
Yeah.
And Gordon Lightfoot, like we'd play them almost every hour.
Right.
That's all we had. We had to meet the 30%.
Did you see at that time period like a huge rise in Canadian artists because
Yes.
of that?
It started growing real fast.
That's great. I love
And now
that.
look at it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Canadian, you can play 75% Canadian and people would be happy.
Yeah.
For sure.
But
yeah,
back
we have
then,
incredible artists now.
they knew that you had a Canadian song on and they didn't like it. It was like, come on, play
Yeah.
some Engelbert Humperdinck. They want to hear Bobby G. Griffiths and the Badger song,
Yeah.
these CanCon songs that they were throwing our way just by anybody that could record something.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and trying to probably promote it, which is awesome, but I wish we had that
Well, nobody
now.
cared. We
Yeah.
had like an album of all CanCon songs, and they were like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, a minute,
Right.
just enough to get so you can say that you played something.
Yeah.
It was the Laurie Bowers Singers and Rob McConnell and the Boss Brass and odd stuff that nobody wanted to hear.
Right.
But you had to make up your content quota. So we played it.
Crazy.
It stunk.
Nah.
People had no choice. That was it.
Yeah.
There was no online music back then.
Right.
People didn't have money to go out and buy recorded music, so they'd
Yeah.
listen to the radio station in town,
Yeah.
and they'd get to like these stupid songs we were playing because that's all they heard.
I think there is like a big part of that though that's kind of missing from society now, right? And now it's like new, always something different. I don't know. I don't particularly like listen to, if I'm in my car, we have all these devices, right? Now people are listening to music on their phones.
Right.
So they're able to be like so specific about what they want to
You pick
listen
what you
to,
want.
right? Yeah.
That's what's happening to radio now.
Yeah.
AM is just about dead. FM is taking a slide.
Yeah.
It's trending down all the time, and podcasting is growing like crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
And some 50, 80% in some areas.
Do you think it's because people want to just be specific to like what
Yeah.
they want to hear?
They want to hear what they want to hear.
They want to hear what they want to hear.
They don't want to hear what you give them.
It's
Yeah.
wild because I feel like there's something lost in that, not having the like expertise of somebody who is, a music lover that's like giving you new opportunities. But I guess the logarithms are kind of doing that for you.
They're all on podcasts now,
Yeah.
the music
Yeah.
experts.
Right.
And the DJs are radio announcers, broadcast personalities
Right.
on regular radio now are usually kids out of college.
Yeah.
Now the college programs have shut down. They're not even teaching it anymore.
Really?
Yeah, Humber College and Fanshawe College. And
Interesting.
a lot of them have just, Niagara College. No more
Really?
radio television course.
I wonder if it's just because, people
Interesting.
can just
No
do
jobs.
it, right?
No
Oh,
jobs.
there's no jobs.
Yeah, because...
I mean, there is jobs, but you have to create your own job, right? Like we're doing. We're just like, oh, let's just make it ourselves.
Exactly.
Yeah. So then you're not necessarily, there's not going to be like an industry for it.
No, because back then a radio station, even Smithers would have like 20 employees.
Wow.
Really?
They had 5 or 6 announcers. They had a couple of sports guys. They had the sales staff and the office staff and
Yeah.
managers. Now they've got one guy maybe managing it from home. A few guys are doing their shows at home and emailing them in,
Right.
as MP3s to be inserted as their voice track.
Yeah.
So you don't have the same flexibility. Like back in the day, even 10, 20 years ago, you had stars on radio, Scruff Connors, and people that people knew.
Yeah.
And now you don't.
Right.
They can't afford to pay them.
Yeah.
The radio hosts always ended up being like prominent community members,
Right.
As well. You're
They became
running the
Yeah, they would
events
show up.
and,
I mean, you're still doing that, but like showing up at events and being an MC and doing kind of liaison work. I think like you end up being like an ambassador for so many
A
different
lot of these people run
communities.
for office and get elected, mayor, councilman, or whatever, yeah.
Yeah, being like a voice.
Yeah.
So what happened after you left?
After I left Smithers,
Yeah.
I should tell you how I left Smithers.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a friend in Chatham who was working at CFCO in Chatham, Ontario.
Yeah.
And he called and he said, Patty says, send a tape down here. They need somebody right now. So I said, okay, fine. So I sent a tape right away because that's all you could do. You couldn't email anything.
Right.
So the tape had to go
Put
in
it in the mail.
Yeah. All the way across the country to Chatham, and they get the tape.
Yeah.
So anyway, they called me about 10 days later, and they said, yeah, we'll hire you. You know, can you make it down here? I said, yeah, I can be there in 5 or 6 days. Okay, come on down.
5 or 6 days.
Wow, yeah. I had to drive back.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Alone.
Yeah.
And so I got
You
back
didn't pick up your friend in Calgary?
No, he stayed.
Okay.
He ended up with a big production company, Jump Studios, and I think he made himself into a millionaire.
Come on.
He's still there running the company now, but
Wow.
he's got
Good
a staff.
for him.
Yeah.
Cool.
And last I saw him was he was dressed like a hippie hitchhiking into Calgary. So,
Really?
Yeah, that was when we parted.
Oh.
We've reunited a few times
I
since
see what
then.
you mean when you dropped him off hitchhiking into
We were
Calgary.
a couple of bums,
What a time to be alive.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, I go into work for my first day in Chatham, and I meet the boss, and they're telling me what my job's going to be and all this. And so I said, where's Steve? I want to say hi to him. Steve, oh, he's gone. We fired him. Well, let him go. They didn't say we fired him. I said, oh, that's too bad. And so I called Steve when I got out of the station when I went home. And I said, Steve, I went to the station. You weren't even there. They told me you were gone.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, you got my job.
Oh.
He says, yeah, they wanted a replacement for me. They never told me that. So they hired you and they let him go.
Oh, my God.
So I got his job.
Hilarious.
So we never talked again.
Of course not.
Yeah,
You
that
got
was
his
it.
job.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
So then you were there for how long? Because then
4
you ended up
years.
4 years. Okay.
And it was more fun. It was a lot of fun
Yeah.
because it was a small market, 40,000 people.
Right.
Out in the country, you know.
Yeah,
so we had a
Chatham,
farm
yeah.
reporter. We had, all this kind of thing. And so it was actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I knew that if I wanted to have a career, I had to go to a bigger market. Because otherwise you get stagnant. And by the time you're 40, if you're still in a small town, you're never getting out.
Right.
They won't hire you. They'll say, no, we want somebody younger or whatever.
Yeah.
So I said, I've got to go to Windsor or London or Hamilton or Ottawa to find a job to have a career.
Right.
And I wanted to go to Windsor, but it never happened. I did get a job offer from CHML Hamilton, 900, which was 50,000 watts, and it's one of the legacy radio stations.
Right.
I think it started in 1925 or something.
Okay.
So they hired me for the all-night show. And I said, yeah, fine. Doesn't matter to me. I'll be there.
Wow.
So actually, they called on the phone while I was on the air. And back then, the program director would take a few days off and he'd drive around the province and listen to people on the radio.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Because it was different than now where everything's online.
Accessible. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got
Yeah, it's not in your cell phone.
No, so he said, okay, I'm going to be down in Chatham. I'm actually on my way. Can we have lunch? I said, sure. So he took me to lunch at the Holiday Inn. So we're sitting down having lunch, and I look across the room, and my boss from Chatham walks in with his advertising friends, and they're all in suits and ties. And he looks over at me, sitting with Bob Hooper, who was my new boss from Hamilton.
Right.
He recognized him. He looked at me, and he didn't say anything. So the next day I went in to give my resignation. He says, yeah, I knew you were going to quit.
Oh, my
He says,
God.
I know you're sitting there talking to Bob Hooper. He was going to give you a job. So he got mad. He says, why do you want to go there? I said, well, I want to have a career. He says, well, we'll give you a raise here. It's a nice place to live. Stay here. I said, yeah, but, what do I do in 10 years when I'm still here? And I'm still making not much money.
Right.
So he says, yeah, I understand. So he didn't like it, but I left.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you had to find your way. Mm-hmm. Amazing. And just think of the incredible career that followed it.
Well, at the time, you never know.
I know, you don't
the time,
know, but like I
you're
said, in
living in the
retrospect,
moment,
it was a good choice.
I was the youngest guy. I was 29.
Yeah.
And everybody else was in their 50s and 60s that was working at CHML and their beautiful music FM station.
Yeah.
And so they thought I was a kid.
Yeah.
They didn't want to talk to me.
Yeah.
Like, who's this kid doing the all-night show,
Yeah.
So I had to be respectful, and eventually in about 6 months they say good morning to me.
Nice.
But
After you've been up all night.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. They started at midnight and worked till 5 or 6 in the morning.
Yeah. I love I was just like kind of visualizing, like you said, how it used to be, a radio station used to be this like family feeling, right? Where you walked in and there were so many employees and it was bustling and booming. And we see like videos made, about the 1950s, and you can see that just how like that was really the only way that people were getting information. Mm-hmm. Right? Like it wasn't popular to be,
Turn
watching
the radio
TV.
on to see what the weather's going to be, if the schools are closed, if the buses are running,
Sports
all that
games,
stuff.
Yeah. News, like world news.
So
like you heard
everybody in
everything.
town would listen to that local station. So you had a captive audience.
Yeah.
But if they wanted music in Chatham, they would listen to Detroit or to Cleveland.
Right. Okay.
They didn't want to hear Chatham. We were
Chatham News.
Well, they knew we were kind of not that great. Not that great.
Right.
They wanted to hear professional radio, so they listened to the big cities.
So
but then they flip it back for the local news.
Yeah. What did it feel like making that move from Chatham to going to Hamilton?
Well, I was having so much fun in Chatham because we had the beach, Rondo Beach down there.
Right.
I could get off work and in 20 minutes
Rondo.
I'd be on the beach.
Yeah.
It was great.
We
Summertime was
just took the kids
long
to
down
Rondo
there.
for the first time 2 years ago. It's great. We love it. Yeah.
Beautiful place to live.
Yeah.
But a little hick town, so
Yeah.
they had a McDonald's, and wasn't much to do.
I feel like it's like pretty built up now.
Well, it's probably like Brantford or something. It's got everything. It's got all the chain restaurants and chain stores.
Right.
We had a little mall that had like 10 stores in it, and that was about it.
Oh my God. Amazing.
But Hamilton was different because working the all-night show, you have no life.
Right.
Because you can't have any friends because I'd get up at 3 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And what do you do? Because I had to be to work at 10:30, 11 o'clock, so couldn't do much.
Right.
So it's kind of a funny life,
And just I'm thinking like what a big city it is. Like what an adjustment from Chatham to Hamilton.
Well, Hamilton then was about 350,000. Mm-hmm. It was pretty good size.
Yeah.
10 times the size of Chatham.
Yeah, huge.
But even on the all-night show, I had a pretty big audience.
Yeah.
Because 50,000 watts goes a long ways. And,
and they're staying up partying all night. That's what Hamilton does.
Because you had the city, you were in the city, so you had activity all from 3 till 4 o'clock in the morning. It was pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was the last day it ended. The next day hadn't started yet.
Yeah.
It was kind of spooky.
Right.
For that hour.
Just by yourself in the studio?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's so crazy.
Looking out the window and there's nothing out there.
Yeah. So then how did you end up on Giant FM?
Well, from Hamilton, CHML, I didn't want to work on the all-night show anymore.
Yeah.
But they kind of got you typecast because they didn't want to hire another person because it was hard to find somebody that would do it.
Right.
So it's like, well, just leave Pat there. He's fine. They wouldn't promote me to a better shift. So I said,
especially if you're the youngest.
Yeah. So I was making pretty good money, but I don't want to work all nights for the rest of my life.
No.
So I got a call from a guy that I never knew, but they'd been listening, and they were starting a national satellite service, first one in the country.
Interesting.
And they had 61 stations across the country that they were picking up their all-night shows.
Okay.
So, like, say, Belleville or Sarnia, places like that.
Yeah.
They got rid of their all-night guy, and they plugged into the Music Radio Network. Mm. So we served all these small stations. But again, it was all night again.
So it would just be all night, like with music?
No, what I had a reel-to-reel tape recorder again.
Oh, my
But a big one.
Gosh.
And I had a 1-800 number. So I was 61 stations all the way from the Maritimes out to the Yukon, into Kelowna, all over. So I would talk to people, and I'd say, well, what are you doing tonight in Moose Jaw? And somebody would call me, and I'd record it. And then I'd play that back on the air.
Cool.
As if it were live.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had about 3 calls an hour, about a minute, from all over the country.
Wow.
So that was a lot of fun, too.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never told me about that.
So
That's
I was the very
fun.
first announcer that was on a satellite show in Canada.
Wow. That's so fun.
It was.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I feel like we've kind of lost that now with I know people do like live stuff, but there's not, I guess, so much interaction Or maybe it's done on like a different platform. They just don't have that kind of like call in. I don't know. Maybe I just don't listen to enough radio anymore.
It's hard to do a podcast and have people called in.
Right.
Yeah.
Because what are they going to say? Is this where I get a pizza?
Maybe we should advertise that as that.
Yeah.
Call in for a free pizza.
Call in, yeah. So because
call Pat Porter for a free pizza.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I only call out. Nobody calls me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did like phone-ins. We did phone-in interviews, but it would just be on the. We got to talk to him about that.
Oh yeah.
Pat was doing like call-in stuff. We haven't done like where we're talking about doing like over the internet conversations.
Right.
Where we could just like call and FaceTime them and be having on our interviews. We've always done live. I like the live.
Well, live is good.
Yeah.
You take a chance unless you have a producer to answer the phone and say, this is so-and-so, and then it's okay because, it's not some goof that you're going to put on the air.
Yeah.
This the radio station? Will you play me a song? You don't want that.
Yeah.
So you have to pick and choose who you're going to put on the air.
Right. So, somebody would have to answer the phone and, like, vet them almost. Make sure they're not idiots.
Right. So I could do that myself at Giant FM.
Oh, cool.
I would answer the phone. I'd say, what's up? And
then,
what's your story? And then if I wanted to put them on the air, I'd put them on hold. And then I'd put them on the air.
Wow.
And fairly safe because you'd had a chance to talk to them and screen them, kind of. Right?
You knew what they were up to.
Yeah.
That's so cool. What was the questions that you were putting out there to the whole entire country?
Well, mostly I would pick on a city or a town. And I'd say, okay, what's happening in Kingston tonight? Is there a jailbreak in town? Has anybody heard there might be a jailbreak tonight? And one night I got a call from one of the inmates in the penitentiary. Because they have payphones in there.
They use their $1 on you to call the radio station.
At 3 a.m.
Oh my God.
So he called. I said, well, where are you calling from? What's your name? Where are you calling from? I'm in Kingston. Oh, Kingston. What's happening in Kingston tonight? It's pretty quiet here. I said, so what are you doing there tonight in Kingston? At 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, just sitting in my cell.
Oh my God.
Okay. Well, that's nice. Yeah. So,
wow.
Well, have a good night, click.
You hung up?
What am I going to say?
I don't know. He could have given you good stories.
Oh, I suppose so, until somebody heard he was on the phone talking about it.
Yeah.
But you'd get all kinds. I had a guy named, it was Willie, Yukon Willie, and he would call from Whitehorse.
Wow. Oh, okay.
And he put on this Charlie Farquharson type accent. Charlie Farquharson, that's before your time, too, right? He was probably 30, 40 years ago on shows like the Tommy Hunter Show or old CanCon Canadian shows.
Fun.
Black and white,
Okay.
But anyway, he was like the old prospector or whatever. And
okay.
Yeah, and he had this funny way of talking. And so Yukon Willie from Whitehorse would tell me stories about how he's catching... badgers outside. That's his lunch or whatever. I think he made it all up.
Yeah. Who cares?
But
it's
it was
good
funny.
Entertainment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So
he was like a regular caller?
Oh, yeah, he was a regular caller.
Oh, that's fun.
So he always had a story, eh?
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what the craziest thing was that someone ever called in on the radio station.
Oh, I don't know. The craziest. They're all crazy. if you're talking all night,
Yeah.
One funny thing happened at CHML. When I got off the all-night show, I finally got, in my last year there, I got moved to the evening.
Yeah.
So there was another all-night guy that took my place. And there was a fire escape off the hallway in the back. And so hookers would call him and dancers, and they'd call him because he'd say, hey, anybody out tonight, give me a call. Hey, maybe you're leaving the strip joint or something. Anyway, he'd get these calls from women, and then he'd get them off air, and he'd say, hey, why don't you come up and see me? Oh. And they'd come up the back of the fire escape at 3 a.m, knock on the fire escape door, he'd let them in.
Wow.
There'd be 2 or 3 dancers from the strip club that would come in. So they'd be dancing around in the studio, and this happened all the time.
Wow. What a character.
Oh, he was a character, but he got caught.
Okay, of course.
Because the boss that came in would read the news. He'd come in at 4 a.m. or 4:30. So when the boss came in, they'd go out the door before he got there.
Yeah.
So down the fire escape and run away.
Wow.
But the boss came in one time and they hadn't left yet. So he came up to the studio just to say good morning. And there's Dave dancing with 3 hookers or strippers or whatever you want to call them in the studio.
Oh, my God.
That was the end of him.
Yeah. Oh, he got fired?
Oh, yeah.
Did you get demoted back to the night?
Yeah. The next night I was back on the all-night show. Yeah. But I didn't have anybody coming up the fire escape.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
You're a mature adult.
Well, I wasn't back then.
No.
I was still in my early 30s.
You just hadn't thought of the idea yourself.
Well, it didn't appeal to me because I took my job seriously.
Yeah, for sure.
But,
that's what I keep thinking. I'm just like, oh, it's crazy. I haven't heard this story before, and it's wild. I think I'm learning this in business, but I think it goes across any industry. Is like you have to work your tail off to get where you want to go in a career. I'm just picturing like all of these years that you had to put in to like have this, robust career.
From 1973 till now. So
grueling. You must love it. Yeah, I'm not gonna do the math. You must really love it.
I do.
Yeah.
I've always loved doing it.
Yeah.
So I quite enjoy it. So
can you take us? Yeah. So that was that.
The next step then?
Yeah. Did that station turn into Giant FM?
No, I was.
Giant FM
I
was
went to the Music Radio
one
Network,
too, right?
but I wanted off the all-night show again.
Yeah, of course.
So then I got a call from CJRN in the River.
Oh,
in Niagara Falls.
right.
Pardon me,
That's
we're
right.
skipping ahead here.
Yeah.
Light 105.7, which became Easy Rock in St. Catharines. So they wanted an afternoon drive announcer, which is what I would be happy doing.
For sure.
Worked from 2 to 6. So
best timing.
I went over there, got hired, and I spent 8 years there.
Right.
And it was okay. It was kind of corporate.
Yeah.
You had to dress up and have a tie on.
I remember you telling me about this.
Yeah, and walk past the boss's office on the way in. He'd look up.
Yeah.
If you didn't have your tie on or your shoes shined, he'd tell you, you have to look presentable when you come in here because clients are coming through,
Yeah.
So I'd get in the back and I'd take the tie off.
Stuffy.
Yeah, he wouldn't come in the back anyway, but
yeah.
So you wear the tie to walk past his office.
Take
off
it
came.
It's funny that he was saying that too, because obviously, radio is like audio only. Mm-hmm. We brought in the video, and I'm like, oh, now I gotta like look nice,
That's
put
right.
makeup on. I'm not doing it very well. Maybe at some point I'll be. We'll make enough to make some people come in and help me. I need like a hair and makeup girl.
Oh yeah, you could do that, but you don't need to. I mean.
Who cares?
People say I have a face for radio. They say that about themselves. And I have a face for radio.
Yeah.
It's much better to hear me. Don't want to see me.
Right. Yeah. No, I think it's true. I was thinking that in my head. I was like, it's wild how hard you've had to work. But I was thinking, over the years, if people did just say that to you, like you just have a natural voice for it.
I developed it. It didn't just come naturally.
Yeah.
First 10 years, I probably sounded more like Mickey Mouse.
Oh, my gosh.
But it's like bodybuilding. You build up your voice, and over the years, it becomes very strong.
Yeah.
But it just takes time.
Yeah. Yeah, we're already a year in, and I'm like, oh, it's so, it comes a lot more natural.
Yeah.
As you get more, experience, obviously.
Sure it does,
Yeah.
And your pacing gets better because your enunciation gets better, everything.
Yeah.
The way you say the words, the things you talk about.
Yeah.
You know when to start and stop and how to end it. You got a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah.
So whenever you're talking about something, you have to know how you're going to get out of it. Yeah. Or you'll ramble on forever. I'm still talking. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
And we're done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is like developing those skills. That's where we're at now. But it's hard to, I just keep thinking like how, how your career was such like a process. How do you stay passionate with it, I guess is what I'm trying to ask.
Because it changes all the time.
Okay.
If I were still doing the same thing I did in Chatham, it wouldn't be fun anymore.
Right.
But, now I'm doing something entirely different.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I was gonna say I can't. When you were telling me when we were podcasting together, and you were telling me about working in an environment like that was so stuffy.
Yeah.
I couldn't picture it, especially the guests that you do typically have on the podcast.
off the wall. They're crazy.
Fun. Yeah. You like to party.
Yeah. So and now you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you still have to be within reason, because if it's not interesting, you're wasting your time. People want to have something they want to listen to.
Yeah.
If you're boring them, they're not going to come back.
Yeah. So how do you, I mean, we can talk about how I do it, but how do you find guests? How do you pick your guests? How do you decide on guests?
Well, basically, most of them get in touch with me.
Really?
And I kind of weed them out.
Okay.
Like bands, not only bands, but I have a lot of comedians that come on. Mm-hmm. And I have people that are involved in the music business.
Right.
And other things besides, like Dr. Kenneth Groves.
Yeah.
I had him on my show. He was recommended by a friend of mine that had used him as a chiropractor.
Oh, okay.
And so he came on. So I had, a show like that.
Yeah.
Talking about different topics from time to time.
Yeah, do you have like business community partners? Yeah.
Birchway, a women's shelter.
Right.
I bring them on 3 or 4 times a year.
Right.
Talk about their book ride and their events and everything.
Yeah.
But even that, you make it interesting. You don't just talk about, poor women shelter, and sad stuff. And I mean, you have to find a way to make it fun and get a laugh out of it.
That's
too,
a hard
right?
topic to make fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess we skipped a step, but I was wondering if you want to talk about starting your own radio station and kind of what that looked like.
The one I have now?
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I ended up at Giant FM.
Yep.
I had 11 great years there.
Yeah.
And then the new owners came in. And I won't mention who they are, but they took over.
Let's slander them.
Yeah, let's get me sued. So they came in, and their idea, like before that, Giant FM was personality radio.
Right.
We had KK, Christy Knight, and we had Jeff Brown and myself and some other people that could talk,
Oh, what a time to be alive.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
We could do whatever we wanted. They said all they wanted was get ratings.
Yeah.
Just do whatever you want, but get us some ratings so we can sell and ask for more money for the commercials.
Right.
Yeah.
So we had freedom as long as we had good ratings.
Right.
So for 5 years, we were #1 in all demographics right across the region.
It's amazing.
And now they're #3, #4. They've lost half their listeners or more.
Ooh.
Their advertising revenue has plummeted.
Yeah.
Because they're generic.
Yeah. So I have a couple questions. So can you explain to us kind of how ratings, like how they work? How do people get ratings?
Well, it's changing now to move into the modern age, because what they've done up till now is they'd call you on the phone from Numeris, which is the rating agency across Canada. And they'd say, would you participate in a survey for us? It's about radio, what you listen to. People say, yeah, sure, fine. So it's for 6 weeks, and you'd get a little ballot that would come in the mail, a little book. And so Monday through Friday or Saturday, Sunday, you'd check off 8 o'clock till 9 o'clock in the morning. I listen to this station. And you fill it out, and you send it back, and they send you $5 or something. Yeah, like that. And then they'd tally all that up, and you'd put your age and your occupation, and male, female, all this stuff down. So they'd be able to break it down by demographics, and then they'd put it all together in a book, and they'd send it out to the radio stations that paid to participate. But now they've got people meters that they can actually drive around, and they can pick up what you're listening to.
Come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
So mostly bigger markets.
Yeah.
But they can kind of, it's more accurate.
I was always curious about that. I thought they had that back in the day, that they just knew how many people were tuned in at a time or something like that.
No, it was a survey.
Yeah.
And then
that's wild.
Most of the time it was twice a year. Toronto would be 4 times a year, and small markets would be once a year. And that was your ratings for the year.
Right.
So if you had 50,000 listeners, you could charge this much for a commercial, because it was based on cost per 1,000.
Gotcha.
So for every 1,000, you could bump up your rates by whatever you wanted to charge. See.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cost per point, you could bump it up by 26 points, which would be $26.
Yeah.
So if you had good ratings, you could get a lot of money.
Right.
If your ratings stunk,
you can't ask a lot for commercials if no one's listening.
oh, buy 5 and we'll give you 20 free.
Right.
It's kind of like that. Yeah.
During that time, I was like, I'm wondering how close to. I'm just thinking of like now the two of us are doing that process, right? We're like reaching out to people and asking for affiliates and asking for sponsorships on our podcast.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering how close you were to that experience when you're working as like a personality, like when you're the voice on the radio. Do you have a lot of connection? I mean, you're reading the commercials, you're putting the commercials together.
I didn't sell the commercials. We had an advertising staff.
Right.
So the advertisers would buy the commercials based on, how many listeners they would get.
Right.
Like McDonald's you just go to the computer and you'd type in all the information they wanted. They wanted a certain amount of women, say 25 to 54, this demographic. So the advertisers would ask what they wanted,
right.
and the advertising salesperson would put that together for them.
Gotcha.
Say, here's what we have. This is what's going to cost you. This is how many listeners you're going to get.
It's so manual. It's just hilarious for me now because now I'm working on marketing on these platforms, right? On these computer platforms that are just like so accessible and so fast. Yeah, it just seems like such a heavy lift to be like going, manually trying to figure out who's listening at what time.
Filling out with your pencil, in a little book and mailing it back, and it sends you $2,
exactly.
for your work.
Yeah.
But people did it for fun mostly.
Yeah.
They were flattered that somebody cared what they thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's it.
And I guess my last question, like you said, now it's kind of gone to like a generic system. I'm just trying to think of like how the attachment looks like for people turning on the radio it's part of their ritual. They turn it on because they want to hear that person's voice.
They don't want to hear Joe Schmo, who's just a year out of college, talking about some stupid joke that isn't even funny, or reading sports scores or the weather, because you can look out the window. Everybody has an app.
Right.
You don't need to have somebody tell you the weather.
You don't need to tune in. I just feel like it was like, for me, going back to like my university years, it was like a friendship with the radio announcer.
You become friends with them.
Yeah. You wanted to turn on at the same time. You have a pattern. Right. You drive your car. I was driving to university, let's say, like every morning. I was listening to the same radio announcer. Like it was like somebody that I trusted.
Right.
And I liked them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just wondering if when these companies went in and tried to like clean house or get new or whatever.
Well, see, if you have a good announcer, you got to pay them more. So they could get a kid out of school or somebody that wasn't very good that could read the weather, tell you what song you just heard.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Right.
And they don't have to pay much.
Okay.
But nobody listens either.
Right.
So that's the downside.
Yeah. Exactly.
So they're cutting off their nose to spite their face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just like taking away that personality that people trusted and loved and cared about.
Yeah.
Oof. Bad choice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It wasn't a smart move.
No.
For them to make everything generic. And a lot of stations are doing that, or they're going out of business.
Yeah, I was going to say that would be the next step, is going out of business. Yeah.
Like AM stations, CHML is gone now. And they shut down about 2-3 years ago.
Okay.
Because no one wants to hear AM radio. Crackly,
I was going to say, how did you explain this to me before when we were podcasting, but what is the difference between the AM and the FM? It's the way they're...
I know
the way it's transferring?
AM is sent out in different directions. Like an AM radio would go out in a zigzag pattern like that. Because if, say, St. Catherine's had 1220, and there's a 1220 in Cleveland. So they can't send the signal out so that it would bounce into Cleveland, because you need to block that radio station so they can have their audience. Because there's an agreement between the CRTC and the FCC in the States.
Okay.
So if there's another one in Rochester, say at 1220, you have to pull back your signal. So the signal is spotty wherever you go. But FM just goes.
Was AM like the original way that they broadcasted? Okay.
Back
so
when
they
radio
came out with
started.
FM, it was stronger and better, and now AM's just,
AM, well, there's
going
News
away.
Talk 1010 from Toronto, and there are some big stations, mostly talk stations.
Okay.
Because no one can play music and get away with it on the AM. The
Copyright?
No, just the sound. People want to hear good sound.
Yeah.
Back in the day, top 40 music from the 60s, it all sounded jangly.
Right.
But nobody cared because that's all you had.
That's all you had.
Yeah.
That was your comparison.
Right, yeah.
Now they want good audio. So if you're playing music, they're like, this is
It's got to be
shit.
FM at least.
Yeah.
And now FM isn't as good as what you can get on Spotify and YouTube and all these other platforms.
All the streaming stuff. Yeah.
So they're having a tough time too.
Even for a while, the radio stations were going through the internet as well. I guess they still are now. But I remember working with Scott Steele. There was same thing. There was radio announcers that we liked in the morning. We'd be driving into work to another city, and a guy would get the radio station on his phone, and we'd just play it in the van instead of listening to the radio in the car, so we could listen to our radio station from back home, right?
Right, you stream it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can stream like most stations now.
And we can still do that now.
That's what you
for
guys
sure.
do, right? You're on 4680Q.
4680Q is streaming worldwide.
Streaming, yeah.
Oh, same as your podcast. It's worldwide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So you can hear it anywhere. So we have a Spanish show. We have rap shows. We put the rap show. We have 3 rap shows now. And one is a
fun.
Jamaican rap show.
It's amazing.
And so we put it on Spotify, TikTok live. And we first tried that for one night at 9 o'clock at night. And by the end of the hour, we had 34,000 listeners
Wow.
Oh my god.
on TikTok live,
That's amazing.
mainly from Jamaica
Yeah.
and Trinidad and Antigua and all those places down there.
Is the host is from Jamaica?
He's Jamaican. He lives in Niagara Falls.
Right. Yeah, I
But
think
he's
I
from
met
Jamaica.
him, right?
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Is it Sanchez? No. What's his name?
Ricky Wright, but he goes by Y8.
Okay.
But he doesn't really identify himself or talk much. He plays the music, it's nonstop, and he yells over the top of it.
Nice.
Hey, 4680Q, warm and easy radio, let's go. And he'll just say things like that for the whole hour.
Right.
But in
It goes
Jamaica,
back
they
to
love
that disc jockeying, right? Yeah.
it. Yeah. So
playing
his
the music.
sister lives in Clarendon, Jamaica, and they set up speakers outside a bar down there on the street. And they can dance in the street because it's hot.
Yeah.
So they took video and they sent it to us, hearing 4680Q and his show
Amazing.
in Jamaica and them all dancing in the street.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so great. Yeah, it's okay. Well, we skipped the step again.
Okay,
You opening your own radio station.
Oh, okay, so I left Giant FM because
Yeah.
I said, well, I can't do this. I need to do what I love to do.
Yeah, because I feel like the story was that they started regardless of whether it was a finance move, they really started to change the actual the production of the show too.
Yeah, they did. They just kind of dumbed it down a
restrictions,
little
all the-
bit.
yeah.
Don't talk much. You don't
Yeah.
need to say your name much. Nobody cares. This kind of thing.
You're like, I worked 35 years for this name.
I just one day the one guy that was appointed program director that came
Yeah.
from Perth.
Yeah.
That's where they were based, by the way.
Oh my god.
He comes down and he tells me, he says, "You're reading the weather wrong." What do you mean wrong? Well, he tells me how it should be done his way.
Okay.
So at that I just nodded and I said, "Okay, fine."
Okay.
At the end of my shift, I walked around the station. I said goodbye to all the rooms. And I walked out the door, and when I got home, I emailed the boss. I said, "That's it. I'm out of here, effective immediately."
Wow.
Because I'd called my friend Rick Rose, who owned 4680Q internet radio in
Right.
Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
I said, "Rick, I'd like to come over and work with you." He says, "Yeah, come on over." So 3 days later, I was on the air there.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So good.
And then when Rick passed away, the family offered to sell it to me. And
Yeah.
at first, the offer, I thought it was too much money.
Yeah.
And then a few months later, they said, "We'll take the offer that you offered. We'll take it."
Perfect.
So I bought it.
Yeah.
And I said, "I'm going to run this like a regular radio station."
Yeah. You
Yeah.
have so much experience.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
So now, if you look at the numbers, and you can kind of find out what people are listening to, even though it's internet radio.
Oh, for sure. Now
Yeah.
is the easier than ever to see analytics, right?
Yeah.
To see how many people it's hitting and how many
Right.
people are, being exposed to it.
So our Niagara online radio station is the top online radio station in Niagara.
Amazing.
And at Ribstock, that's coming up on Father's Day weekend,
Yeah.
there's Hits FM, More FM from Niagara Falls, and there's Giant FM got in,
Of course.
Country
Great.
89, and us.
Amazing.
So we're the ones that are going to be presenting Ripstock.
Amazing.
Oh, wow.
That's so great.
Actually, 4680Q puts on more live shows than all the other stations in the market combined
Wow.
right now.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to you having that intimate relationship with the community, right? As being asked to come out as like an MC or as a presenter, networking.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's who you know to a large extent.
Yeah.
Yep.
And if people trust you, they'll ask you. Like I did a Stag and Doe on Saturday night
So fun.
at Club Richelieu for, we had about 300 people out there for that.
Amazing.
And every weekend I'm out doing something somewhere.
Yeah.
And they pay pretty well for that stuff too.
Yeah, and again, I think it's because you've built that rapport, right? You've been in the community for so long that like you're a recognized voice. Like it's reassuring and exciting for people to hear a voice that they trust.
Yeah. And like I'll show up at a location to do a live event and you're very welcome. They run up to you, Pat, hugs.
So great.
We listen to you all the time, and you hear the same thing from everybody.
Of course, but that's great.
It's
it never
good.
gets old.
But you have to be humble all the time.
Yeah.
You can't start believing your own BS.
Right.
Because you have to be one of them. You have to be a real person. And if you are, they love you.
It's so easy to be comfortable around other people when you are in that scenario. I find anyways, being a host, like I genuinely love hearing people's stories.
Yeah.
I really do. Like
Me too.
You don't have to fake it because it's real. Like you're just like, oh, I want to hear all the weird stuff that ever happened to you,
Yeah.
I just wanted to go back because I know he's such he was such a big affluent person in our community. It's just your relationship with Rick Rose.
I was friends with Rick for about 30 years. And he went to Nashville to be a songwriter for Sony for 10 years. Then he came back to Niagara because he wanted to live with his family and be close to home.
Yeah.
So we had a good relationship. So he was happy to have me, and I was happy to work with him.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, when did he start that radio station? Because
2019, I think it was.
Okay.
Or
Wow.
Right around there, before COVID.
Right before COVID.
Yeah.
So originally when you took it over, when you like came on board, he was just playing music, right? It was like on a loop, like it was.
It was on a loop. He programmed it himself.
Right.
And there weren't very many shows, or 5 or 6 shows.
So there was like, there was people like doing shows, like doing an hour show on the radio station? Okay. I didn't realize that. I thought it was just music at the time.
They didn't really take it seriously.
Yeah, well, he was busy doing everything else in Niagara, right?
He had a print shop, and he had his music school, and he had he played in a band, and he was busy.
And he was he had a family, a beautiful family. His kids were all getting married around that time too. Like, it was wild.
He's doing so much for so many people.
Oh, it was wild. Anytime we did touch base, we always kind of had that conversation of just, we're always running around chasing our tails. Me and Rick were in NFCVI together.
What?
So when he first opened his recording studio, I was downstairs in the basement. I was
Hepworth Circle there.
Yeah, Hepworth Circle and NFCVI.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
so he was upstairs. He had his recording studio, and then we were downstairs in the dance studio. And he was like the very first person. When I started teaching, I was like, "How do I make CD? How do I like cut music? I have this CD." And I don't know how I'm going to like cut it because the dance is, 2 minutes and the song's 4.5 minutes. And I would bring it to Rick and he would like, put it onto a music program and cut it for me and bring it back to me.
Right.
So we really did have like a long career relationship together. And then I started using him for the print shop when I opened the dance studio.
Right,
and
you
he
had
was like doing all kinds of
t-shirts.
stuff.
I
he did all
remember
his shirts.
you coming in grabbing the t-shirts.
Yeah, I think that's how we first met. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we
I
first
said, why don't
met.
you come on and do a show with me? And you said, okay, fine.
Yeah.
And then,
okay, fine.
And then you became my co-host.
Yeah.
So
I'm so grateful because really I don't know had I not walked into that. And I think again, me and Rick always were saying, we should pick a lane. We should pick one thing, but we were always trying to do 50 things. Yeah, we were always just interested in having our hand in so many things. We were both so inspired, and just like getting involved in all the things. So I think it's really nice. I knew when I came on to the podcast, I was thinking to myself, this is before he had passed it. He must have been so grateful that you were able to like take his vision and his idea and then turn it into what it is today. He'd be so excited.
I think so. And Rosa is still there with the music school, his wife.
Yeah.
And she's, every time I say Rick, she starts crying, you know.
Oh,
but
I can't
she
even
misses
imagine,
him so much.
for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it's been so nice to work with that family.
Right?
His son Jake and
Yeah.
daughter Mel. And they just love having the radio station.
Yeah.
So even though we're all moving to different locations soon.
Yeah, tell us about the move.
Well, we don't have it confirmed yet.
Okay.
So we're still we're looking at different locations.
It's a secret.
Kind of.
Yay.
I'll tell you when I know for sure.
Okay. And we'll get you back on to tell us all about it. I'm excited.
it's gonna be
I'm going to
expanded.
come. I'll come on your podcast and visit.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's about time. Yeah.
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 Will your co-host be mad?
My co-host is on hiatus right now,
Oh,
so
yeah?
it's just me. Yeah.
Okay.
Joni Jane from the band Rebel Souls.
Yeah.
She's been on for a little over a year
She
with
looks so cool.
me. Yeah.
You replaced me with a rebel.
What's that?
I said you replaced me with a rebel.
Oh yeah. Well, you were very good on the radio. She's totally different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know, there's no comparison.
Yeah. We got a different vibe.
Exactly. Yeah. But sometimes it's kind of nice if she does take a day off because I can do a serious interview.
Oh, yeah.
Because she likes to have fun all the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll be talking to somebody and then she'll ask something off the wall. Like, what?
Yeah. How do you... I actually almost called you a couple weeks ago because I was feeling that. I started when we first started the podcast. I would say the first year, and I still write questions just to like make sure I'm like, I just kind of want to keep like I want to focus my brain into like, what do I want to know? How do I get all these things out of the interview? Because I know they have all these specialties to talk about. But how do you kind of steer the conversation? Like, it's so hard sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I had this great lead in and now you just like dropped it. Now it's too late. Now I got to go back and try to like work that in somehow.
Well, I spend a little time doing research on whoever's coming in.
Yeah.
Or my phone interviews as well.
Yeah.
And so I know where they, say if it's a band, I know where their next gigs are going to be and what they've done recently. And I find out who's in the band, what kind of music they play. I program some of their songs, you know.
Yeah.
So I know about them by the time they sit down, which surprises them.
Yeah.
Because they think I'm just going to ask them, well, oh, so how long have you been together? Oh, who's in the band? You know, simple questions.
Yeah.
But I want to hear about them.
Yeah.
I want them to tell their stories.
Right.
Yeah.
So I ask them things where they're going to talk.
I guess that's how you get better at like leading those like open-ended questions.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I sit back and I listen. Because let them tell their story.
Yeah.
And when they get to the end of the story or they're running out of gas, then I pop in again.
Right.
And goose them again.
Yeah.
And get them telling more stories.
Some.
Well, kind of, you know.
Yeah.
And you have to keep it going, but you have to sometimes they'll say something and they don't know what to say next.
Right.
Yeah. So you got to jump in there and, well, how about this? You know, what have you done here or whatever?
Right.
And then they perk back up and tell you some more.
Yeah.
Or you poke fun at them or something and everybody laughs and, you know, it's a good time.
Yeah.
And by the end of the hour, they don't want to leave.
Right.
You know, I can't even get them out of the studio. I can't. They're in the lobby. They're
like, I
get
got
out.
stuff
You know,
to
I got
do.
other things to do.
Yeah, I got stuff to do.
But they've got that dopamine hit from doing it.
Yeah.
That they're so happy they don't want to stop.
Yeah, I've really found people over the year that sometimes people take a little more convincing, right? Where they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm too nervous, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh, like, what you have to offer an audience is so big and so beautiful, and people are going to love to hear about what you're doing, especially musicians.
Yeah.
Because they just have such a crazy lifestyle. Like, they're just so wild that I think, it really is like a superpower being able to, to tap into those energies with people, being able to tap into like something that they have to talk about, and then they feel really excited about
drag
it.
it out of them, eh?
And they found empowered too. They really always after are like, oh, it was so great, I loved it. So yeah, it's fun.
do.
Yeah.
Because you don't ask them, you know, where were you born, you know? When did you first play your guitar? You know,
Right.
Like, who cares, you know?
Who cares?
Nobody cares.
Yeah.
They want to know what this person's all about.
I'm such like a linear interviewer. I always do feel like I am like chronological. I'm like, tell me how it started, and then how did it go, and how is it going now?
I think
You jump all around.
Yeah, people appreciate that. They don't usually get the opportunity to tell their story like in a long form like that, right?
Yeah. I think it's a great it's such a contributor to this, like, to our community. I think it's great.
Oh, it's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I love it. I'm going to keep it up till I fall over sideways.
So I was thinking, I think it's so good for your brain. Like, I think I was mesmerized working alongside you because, yeah, sure, you can look up on a website and you can research your guests and you can know stuff about them. And I think that's really powerful, even kind of being able to keep it all straight, being able to, like, have a memory for it. But I think even within an hour, you were so good at making people feel comfortable. Right away, you were able to, like, establish inside jokes or be able to, like, drop something that, like, made them feel really comfortable. So I think that is, like, your superpower. But I also was thinking as you age, it's probably so good for your brain to be still using it in that way.
Yeah, because
right?
otherwise you get you just kind of lose it. Use it or lose it, you know. And if you don't
use it or lose
the
it.
talent, you know, the skill, then it disappears. Like, you talk to a lot of older people, they don't have a lot to say sometimes.
Right.
I prefer to spend time with people that are far younger than me because they're still full of energy in life.
Yeah.
The older people, like my age.
Yeah, you're probably struggling with your counterparts.
Yeah. There are some people like me that I, you know, hang around with. Yeah, that I associate with.
Yeah.
But generally, I think probably people in their 30s and 40s, 50s, are still interested in everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the time they're hitting retirement age, they just want to go fishing.
What's wrong with fishing?
Well, I'm just saying that is maybe they go.
We love fishing.
Curling or something. I don't know.
I guess we're old souls in young bodies. Yeah.
Go catch a fish.
Yeah, right.
Go catch a fish. The last thing that I wanted to ask you about, because I always found it so fun, is your brother. I can't believe in, like, you know, two brothers both so drawn to the broadcasting situation.
He got into radio because of me. He's 6 years younger than I am.
Okay.
So he thought he wanted to try it too.
Wanted to be like his big brother.
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Oh, I love that.
So he
You're
started
like, come
out...
on to Smithers.
Oh, boy, yeah. He started out doing this news and sports.
Yeah.
And he's a sports guy. He always loved sports.
Yeah.
So he eventually worked that into working as a play-by-play announcer for the Cleveland Cavaliers basketball team. Mm-hmm. And then it was the worst team in the league. So the guy they fired the announcer that'd been there like 30 years.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't pay him anymore. They wanted to get my brother in, who was cheap, you know.
Yeah.
New at it.
Yeah.
So he did 2 years there on a 4-year contract, and then they let everybody go and tried to go in a new direction, you know, with everybody.
Yeah.
So he ended up in Sarasota, Florida, working for a team called the Sarasota Stingers, which was kind of a minor league basketball team.
Yeah.
So while he was in Florida doing that, he found that he could try out for a new hockey team, basketball team that was coming to Orlando, the Orlando Magic. And so he tried out for it, and they hired him.
Wow.
So he was the first announcer with Orlando ever. So he did 2 years at Orlando doing the Magic, and then Tampa Bay Lightning said, "We'd like you to try out. We're starting a hockey team in Tampa." So he tried out for that, and he got hired there. So he did basketball and hockey at the same time. Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so he's still doing the hockey, the NHL.
Yeah.
In fact, the playoffs. He was in the playoffs. You could hear him on the television because he's in the arena, you know. Kucherov! You know, he'd be yelling all this stuff, and you could hear him.
Yeah, that's so fun.
So, so he did that right there.
I'm going to listen to him.
He has 3 Stanley Cup rings.
Come on.
This big on his fingers. He can't even close his fingers.
Hilarious.
Because they gave him a ring, too, when they won the championships.
Wow.
Yeah, you're like part of the team.
Yeah.
Do you go down and visit?
Mostly he comes up here.
Really?
It's too hot down there for me.
I was gonna say either you'd go there because it's nice and warm, or he'd
Nice
come
and warm.
here to
It's
get
hot.
away from the hot. Yeah.
He comes up in July.
Okay.
And he thinks
'cause
it's
probably
cold.
insane there in
Oh,
July.
God. From May till November, yeah.
Ugh. So hot.
Only the people from New Jersey are going to Disney World, you know, that time of year.
Yeah, the idiots.
Yeah.
They want it cheap.
That's right. So, yeah, he's very
Hilarious.
successful. He's still working.
Yep.
So he's doing that. And he also does was it ESPN Sports reporting for Tampa Bay Buccaneers football on Sundays.
Wow.
So
Wow.
So
and he has
wild. You
he has
guys
a
are
talk
so
show on
talented.
Saturday morning.
Cool.
Well, it's just a matter of being the last one standing, really. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, this was so amazing. It was absolutely amazing to catch up with you.
Thank you.
I can't wait to hear about your new location.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at Ribfest for sure. We always go.
Oh,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Definitely catch up with you. And thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Have a good night.
Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, and you'll never miss a podcast.
Good night.